Hey, what's good? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the Reks album entitled The Hunger Inside Never Gets Satisfied. Let's get to it. Alright, so Reks is an underrated MC hailing from Lawrence, Massachusetts. He's been rapping in the Boston underground scene since the late 90s, but he has a total of 12 solo albums to his name. This 2020 release, The Hunger Inside Never Gets Satisfied, is Reks's most recent body of work since his Order and Chaos project from 2018. But on this album Things, Reks has a lot to get off his chest. He's dropping a lot of knowledge. There are many conceptual themes. He explores racism, politics, current events, and some Afrocentric themes. Additionally, there are records dedicated to his family as well as ones that focus on character qualities like perseverance. When talking about the production, Reks has beats from the following well-known producers: Evidence, Not, Static Selecta, Apollo Brown, Marco Polo, and Mifux. There are other producers whose names I'm not too familiar with, like John Glass, G Wiz, Drugs Beats, Andre X, and Short Fayez. But as a whole, I feel the production was solid. There were some standout instrumentals, but I can't say I was in love with all the beats, as there were some that were a little stale in my opinion. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opener, Strong, Ready, Able, finds Reks talking about being a dad and overcoming setbacks. I think this is a strong intro because it sets the tone for this hunger inside theme. I like the gentle piano and soulful claps. It's almost gospel inspired, and you can sense this mature and grown man vibe right out the gate. Track 2, Things, produced by Knots, contains a dusty soul sample beat. It comes across like early Kanye meets the Heatmakers. I would say his first verse is more of the lyrical miracle style of rap, but on the second he manages to weave in the hunger theme. But overall, I like the playful energy to this track. This is followed up by Miseducation, which stylistically is similar to the Knots beat, although not as hard-hitting, and I didn't like the way his vocals were mixed in. This is a conceptual track about the flaws in the education system. Reks maintains that we have to unlearn the white supremacist way in which students are taught. While the concept is good, the hook is pretty weak, so I couldn't get into this one entirely, although I suppose there might be some appeal in the rough around the edges production. What follows is the Evidence produced Civilized Barbarians. You are getting a punchy boom bap style beat. There is this strong pro-black and socially conscious sentiment here. Not only did I dig this production, but I thought he was spazzing lyrically. Some similar lyrical content can also be found on the Static Selecta produced The Complex. This features Pharoah Monch, who gives us a thought-provoking verse. He talks about soldiers risking their lives for a government that fails to adequately care for them when they return home. I like the woodwind-backed instrumental. Reks is pretty open about his distrust of the government, pharmaceutical companies, and diets that aren't alkaline based. I feel Reks and Pharoah Monch delve pretty deeply into the word complex, specifically in relation to race, the prison industrial system, and the complexity of being black. Then we get Reks romanticizing about true black love on the Apollo Brown produced Isis Daughter. He raps about the purity of African queens on top of this angelic vocal harmony. Afterwards, Reks examines white privilege through the lens of Rachel Green. Now, this lady, Rachel Green, represents the type of white woman who appears to be well-intentioned and down for the black cause, but when she is faced with the slightest inconvenience, her inner Karen is revealed. So all the pro-black and equality stuff goes right out the window whenever this type of person is challenged. So if you are the Rachel Green type, stay clear of Reks, as he is clearly about black love. I did like the storytelling and the theme here. The beat was cool as it's just a simple loop. I believe the same sample was used for Styles P's track Money and Check. Following is the conceptual record Ego. On here, Reks breaks down the psychological theme of the id, the ego, and the superego over a dark and minimalist beat. The message that Reks conveys is to stay on point and to balance your desires, as he reminds us to get your mental equipped before you Freudian slip. I thought the following bars were dope because he managed to shout out two legendary groups, De La Soul and the Ghetto Boys. The mom be playing tricks on ghetto boys and girls. You think you need it fixed? Take a trip from this world. Truth about God, truth about sex. The answer to my comprehension is just too complex. Right after is brotherly love. Reks talks about the importance of unity and brothers staying together despite differences. It's a positive and sentimental message, but sonically, this one didn't do it for me. It was just an okay track in my opinion. Next is Legacy Driven, produced by Evidence. This is set to a dusty sax loop. It's just one verse where Reks drops some bars on how to attain self-mastery as he's thinking about his legacy rather than just living day to day. It was a cool and thoughtful track with a dope beat from Evidence. On White House, Reks unapologetically calls out the racism in this country. The White House, in Reks's eyes, symbolizes the home or the birthplace of white supremacy. Welcome to the White House, where they white out your accomplishments and write about your repressive successes. When I shout, they cover up, they plant the drugs, assassinate your character. Oh, he a thief, he a thug. So he's talking about all the bullshit that black folks in this country have to endure on a daily basis due to systemic white supremacy. And this theme of uprooting a racist system is further explored on Benjamin's Dead. You are getting an eerie sample beat with organs that has a psychedelic feel. You can hear the passion and frustration in his vocals when he states, "Fuck every dead president and those living except Obama. Honest Abe met his karma. Kennedy's a memory, but was alive when my mama had to sip out the color tap, sit where the blacks at." There's quite a bit of revolutionary fervor and activist rhetoric. It's definitely a song suitable for the times, especially when this album dropped during the nationwide protest. What follows is Animal Kingdom, produced by Apollo Brown. This is one of the strongest records on the album, in my opinion. It's a conceptual track in a vein similar to GZA's very creative Animal Planet. And Reks definitely kills it on the lyrical front. It's just a bar heavy and standout record with a dope beat. Sure, he's not, the first to use this concept, but he does put his own spin on it. Track 14 is King of the Town, which is also produced by Apollo Brown. This has more of a cloudy and atmospheric beat with a semi-chopped and screw Nas vocal sample. And to keep it a buck, I wasn't blown away by this track as a whole. I think it has something to do with the features, which were a little underwhelming. And even though this was an Apollo Brown beat, it didn't really leave much of an impression. Next is the Marco Polo produced Heartbreak Farewell. You have a pensive boom bap beat with Reks rhyming about overcoming alcoholism. It's more of an introspective kind of record with a decent enough beat from Marco Polo. The subsequent track is The Wedding Song, also produced by Marco Polo. On here, Reks spits some romantic bars over a funky and piano-backed beat. It's solid, not a standout, but I didn't dislike it. Right after is the Evidence-produced The Village, set to an ethereal beat. Reks drops some lyrical bombs on why he's one of the nicest. Really mind if I'm not in your GOAT convo. Vocal flow, toe to toe, tag a foe, John Doe. You ain't Tariq Trotter, Ghost or Nasir. You pale in comparison as long as I'm here. I really dug the boastful bars and the ghostly instrumental. This was a good song late in the track list. The penultimate track is Nana and Grampy's song. This is a heartfelt tribute to his grandparents. He's basically honoring all of his relatives as they gave him the guidance and the game to be the man who he is today. I really like the soulful beat and the triumphant horns and just how he was able to paint a picture. The album wraps up with Still Dreaming, produced by Me Fucks, who provides Reks with a smooth and dreamy backdrop. It's very soulful, much like the opener. His singing on the hook is actually kind of catchy. Yeah, I feel this was a strong way to close the project out. Overall, I give this album a rating of 3.5 mics. I think this project is mostly dope. with some standout moments. I enjoyed the bars, the wordplay, the concepts, and just the passion and intensity to which Reks attacks the mic. As cliche as it sounds, Reks is a very dope and underrated lyricist. Now, I wouldn't say he's an artist who I would listen to all the time, but he's nice with it, no question about it. Aside from this project having a few average instrumentals, one gripe that I had was its length. Sure, it was just under an hour at 59 minutes, but with the abundance of tracks, somehow it felt a lot longer. You know, topically and thematically, some of these records are very similar, and after hearing about 3/4 of this album, it all becomes crystal clear as to what Reks is about. That's cool and all, but the themes get a little repetitive, and I feel like he was beating a dead horse at times. So I personally feel that had he trimmed down the track list a little bit, this would have been a 4-mic album. And, you know, this is just my humble opinion. I'm sure some will have given this a much higher rating, and I can totally respect that, but I'm only giving it to you the way that I heard it. My favorite tracks include Strong, Ready, Able, Civilized Barbarians, The Complex, Legacy Driven, Benjamin's Dead, Animal Kingdom, This Village, and Nana and Grampy's song. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy, Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, is peace and blessings. Reks, the hunger inside never gets satisfied. 1.